I'm Shari Levy, and I'm here today at the VOTEC with a lot of the people who've been instrumental in our 6th annual coat drive. Well, Mr. Grimaldi, here we are again.
Yes, another year.
Another year of the amazing work that you do and all the students.
Well, I'd have to say it's not me, it's the students that do all the work. I just direct it a little. Shari and people that work with Shari deliver the coats to the school. The students go out, they bring them in. We assort them, see what needs to be dry cleaned and what needs to be laundered and dried. And when we're finished with that process, we bag them up, and then Shari comes with her little elves and gets everything together and delivers them to needy people. It's great for the students. It's something for them to do, the community service, and keeps them busy.
Today happens to be a freezing day outside. I can't imagine anybody outside without a coat. However, we know it happens, and it's our way of helping you give back to the community. Just by seeing everything that we have in the storage room over there, and not even just coats today. We have a few suits in there. We have socks, we have t-shirts, we have underwear, anything that we can do to really help. And we take for granted what we have. And we forget about the fact that some other people don't have that. Well, we're trying not to forget that. And for us, the opportunity to help people out there who are in need is just a great thing for us, and we're extremely happy to do it and happy you're allowing us to do that.
The program that you've started has obviously ballooned into such a monumental effort for people who really are in need. Township has done its part, I think. We've
Absolutely.
put the recycle bins throughout the different buildings within the township, and we've contributed. I know a bunch of bags were in our economic development officer's office. He almost had no room for himself, and it's an opportunity to give back. Those kids that don't have coats are often the same kids that don't show up in school in the winter. If they don't show up in school, then they don't have a meal, because many times the schools are helping those individuals in need with a meal and after-school programs and all of those things that they won't be able to partake in because they don't have a coat. Seems like such a simple thing for those of us who are blessed and are fortunate, and to have you coordinate so many people is a monumental effort, and you deserve a whole lot of credit for doing all of that, because at the end of the day, isn't that our job, to try to make somebody else's life a little bit better? There's a saying, I always say it all the time, and that is, speaks to being humble, and that is the tree that has the most fruit is the one that's bent the lowest, and you don't need. You're not doing it for the credit, you're doing it because it's the right thing to do, and that's always the right motivation, and I can't be more proud of you and what you've done, because you're helping so many people.
We have been working with Shari on this project for quite a few years now, and we have received such an overwhelming response from the township, from our residents, and they're so happy to donate their gently used coats to a great cause. So we're just happy to be part of this.
The East Brunswick Education Association, along with the East Brunswick Board of Education, were very proud to collect coats at all of our schools. They did a fabulous job, and I would like to thank all the students, the parents, principals and supervisors, and the ESP, which is the Educational Support Professionals. On behalf of them, I'd like to thank everybody for this wonderful donations of hundreds and hundreds of coats. We do appreciate it. Thank you.
Every year, our youth group, which is 9th through 12th graders, goes into the city the weekend of Martin Luther King Day and does what's called a midnight run. A midnight run is where we go to different parts of the city and we hand out different supplies such as coats and winter clothing and food to many of the homeless around the city who on a normal day would not be able to get many of these items. We are very fortunate every year that we get this opportunity to do this and impact so many different people.
I'm very excited that you're here, because every year we're able to really provide coats and some warm garments to those in need. So please tell everybody a little bit about the Job Corps.
Sure. And let us just say thank you to you, Shari, and the entire group for collecting the coats. Edison Job Corps is a vocational training school that is open to young people ages 16 to 24. And here's the good news. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. And our students live with us on campus, and a number of our students are from places that are very warm, like Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, and southern states. So these coats are tremendously helpful this time of year. Raven is actually one of our students who is from New York and has seen what the impact of coat donations can do.
I want to say that I think it's very thoughtful for the community and for my friends and trainees to have these warm coats. I think is really thoughtful, and I thank you so much for that.
Well, I know when we first saw each other today, you looked around and you said there were great coats and you have friends in the school who really can use them. So that makes all of us, everyone involved in the township collection, feel so good.
The thing that made it extra special is that these coats were being dry cleaned, and they were being dry cleaned by a vocational training school. We're a vocational training school, and I was like, it was meant to be. So I reached out to you, Sherry, if you remember.
Yes.
And here's the wonderful thing. Sherry just automatically said yes. Thank you for that. She didn't know who I was, why I was calling, but she said yes. And we got a tremendous amount of coats that really benefited our students at that time. So the partnership is still going on to this day, so it's a marriage made in heaven.
I would like to thank Alternative Integrated Medical Services. That's basically our headquarters. Dr. Pacone and Dr. Reisert allow us to use the facility as a collection site, and they've always helped with sending the coats over. So without their help, I couldn't do this. Thank you.